Well, breaking tonight, just 1 week after the chaos in Chicago, and we are seeing a much smaller group of protesters at Donald Trump's event as he gets ready to address supporters in Salt Lake City, Utah tonight, ahead of that state's Tuesday caucuses. Remember, last week at this hour, protesters succeeded in forcing Trump to actually shut down his event out of fears for his supporters' safety and stifling free speech in the process. Joining me now, Jamal Green, who's a community activist and one of the leaders of last week's Chicago protests, along with Herman Cain, who's an organizer for Black Lives Matter in St. Paul, Minnesota, and Herman Cain, who's a Fox News contributor, former presidential candidate, and author of The Right Problems, What the President, Congress, and Every Candidate Should Be Working On. Great to see you all. Mr. Cain, it's a pleasure to have you back in the program. It's been too long since I've seen you.
Thank you. I'm enjoying it. Thank you very much.
All right, let me start with you, Jamal, because you were one of the leaders of the protest in Chicago. You described it as a win when it got shut down. Why? You just heard the discussion in our first segment about how is it really a win when you shut down somebody else's First Amendment rights?
Well, you know what? We didn't shut down his First Amendment right. This man chose to not come and express his First Amendment right. He had every right to. He talked to law enforcement. Even our intern superintendent said that they informed him that they had enough security and enough police to get him in and out of the building.
Why did you feel it was important to show up there and do what you did? Because you were with a couple hundred people. Well,
you know what? We are tired of seeing him discriminate against people that are Hispanic, blacks. He is talking bad about women. So we were going there to not try to shut down his freedom of speech, but to actually tell him, listen, this is not the type of character of a man that is supposed to be running for president.
What specifically has he done with respect to blacks and immigrants that you object to?
Well, you know what? He made comments when he first announced he was running for president, saying that Hispanics are bringing in rapists and killers and drug dealers. That is what we do not like. We do not like people that is going to say, oh, women are call women fat slobs. He even called you a bimbo on Twitter last year. This is a man that it disrespects everyone. He disrespects presidential candidates. He called Marco Rubio, Little Marco, Ted Cruz, Lion Ted. He called Senator Sanders a liar. And, he just, the type of character he is not great.
Herman
it's not great, and we will not stand for it in Chicago.
Your thoughts on that point, right? And then we'll get to the propriety of shutting down a rally. But your thoughts on Jamal's last point there.
Jamal and Mr. Vargas, your previous guest, are part of the political noise machine. They pick on the sound bites that some people are trying to project as the perception of Donald Trump, and it's totally inaccurate and unfair. So he's gone off on a statement here and an isolated statement here, and when he says he offended all Mexicans or illegals, no, he said the bad people. He is not a racist. And in case Mr. Jamal and Mr. Vargas haven't looked up the definition, go look up the definition. Donald Trump does not satisfy the definition of a racist or any of these other things that they're putting out there. They are in denial that Donald Trump is someone who will be forceful in doing the things that are right for all Americans. Free speech is not a license for them to conduct the disruption that they are basically perpetuating on some of these events. That's a big difference.
Herman, your thoughts on it, on what Herman Cain just said, that he made a comment and that the events have been isolated, and in his view, Donald Trump is no racist.
I disagree with Mr. Cain respectfully. Also, I'm from the organization Black St. Paul. And in St. Paul, Minnesota, the city council almost voted to ban Donald Trump from coming to the city because of some of the things he has been saying. But I disagree. I'm not going to say whether Donald Trump is racist or not, but he's saying racist things. So when he says things like, let's make America white again, that sounds like a racist statement. And as a
when did he say that?
He didn't say
as
that.
A black man, I can't support
He didn't say let's make America white again.
America white again.
No.
No, he didn't. He did not say that.
I've never heard that statement, Megan.
No, I've never heard that either. That sounds like maybe something a supporter or somebody on Twitter But Donald Trump has never said that. That would have been big news. I mean,
Megan, can I say
that's part of the
something?
problem,
Donald
Herman
Trump
Cain,
was
is that
endorsed by the Ku Klux Klan.
well, he can't
No,
help
he
who's
wasn't.
even if they did endorse him, he can't help who endorses him. I mean, a lot of freaks out there wind up endorsing you, and I was like, what are you going to do about it? He did eventually disavow the KKK. He stumbled on it for a day or two before he
Megan,
did that.
can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
What he is saying is exactly what they use to try to get people incited to believe that he's a racist. Donald Trump didn't say that. Donald Trump is not endorsing the KKK. Donald Trump has not said a lot of the things that the political noise machine, like your guests and the previous guests, are saying about Donald Trump. The problem I have is misrepresenting what the man said for their objective. And their objective is destruction and intimidation.
What about
That's
that,
their
Traherne?
only cause.
If you misrepresent the record, it undermines your whole argument.
Exactly. And they are all about...
That's for Traherne. Go ahead.
They are all about intimidation.
Sorry, let me just stand you by, Herman.
Trump.
Sorry, I want to give Traherne the floor. Go ahead, Traherne.
What does the Ku Klux Klan see in Donald Trump where they say we'll put our endorsement behind you? What does David Duke see in Donald Trump that makes them want to endorse him?
May I answer that? Maybe they see jobs. Maybe they see a strong economy. Maybe they see a strong military. Long as Donald Trump didn't endorse them and their principles, that's not a big sin. You are using that to incite black people, Hispanic people, and non-white people to portray him as a racist. That's what you're doing. You are not respecting his free speech.
Just before I let go, Traherne, I know that you were the person who organized that one rally we saw, that protest against police, where the people started chanting, "Pigs in a blanket, fry 'em like bacon." And you know that's going to have many people out there tonight saying, why should we listen to this guy on matters of race and decorum? I want to give you the chance to answer.
Well, you guys, I didn't say fry anybody like bacon. I didn't start that chant, but I understood, you know, what was going on in that moment, that the police and the protesters were having a playful moment at that time. So no, we were never advocating do harm to the police. And right now, I wouldn't be advocating doing harm to Donald Trump or anybody in his family. So that's the thing. But my thing is the Ku Klux Klan and David Duke see something in Donald Trump.
I understand. You made that point.
That makes them want to support him.
I don't know how playful the police officer thought that moment was. I don't know. I think the officer has different ideas of a good time if he wants to play. But great to see all of you. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Megan.